I asked this question before about do you see your parents in you sometimes, and you told me no.
A parent in me?
This was a topic you put down. I asked this question before, and you told me no, based off of who your parent was, who your parents are.
I mean, like, me looking like my mother but as far as, like...
What are you doing? Yeah, so why you come back in?
I mean, when it comes to some things, like, probably with my mother, with the nonchalant type situation.
You think you nonchalant?
About
when it comes
stuff?
to your kids? So you aggressive.
Oh, when it comes to my kids? No, but when it comes to situations...
Is that what you was saying? Oh, okay, you just saying the full package.
Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, your mother don't care. I told you your mother just fell asleep on your daughter, your sister, when she was crying her heart out to her.
But I'm just saying, like, the nonchalant, I feel like, yeah, I can get that from her. As far as that bitch ass, that's an
We had a deep.
But that's why I was, like, when I asked you, do you see, because it's like, with your siblings and sit back and think of things and, like, look at certain things, it's like a pattern. And the question is, like, that's why I was like, do you think...
I know, you can see the pattern. I don't even think they realize that, specifically the females, they are attracted to men who mimic their daddy, and they don't even realize that. And that hasn't even been a discussion that I'm willing to have. Like, I joke a lot when it comes to them. And I try, because individually, we've all been through whatever we've been through as it relates to who our father is. But I say specifically to me, I worry about, like, the aggression part.
That's why your shirt fits perfectly.
No, but see, I have to also I have to hold myself responsible, because I sit back and I say, like, it get times where I want to be selfish. I'm not in that position to be selfish, though. And that's not that's not who I am. I don't walk around trying to be selfish to nobody. But I know who's responsible for one of the people that's responsible for me being here. That is something that he wears on his chest, being selfish. And I also would say, like, I had recorded something I was going to put out, but it didn't turn out right. And I said, man, like, I called my father a deadbeat, and I would say I take it back. And the reason I would take that back is because I honestly think his intentions was to do the best that he possibly could with what he knew for Naja, for Makoja, for Makia, Jamaica, Courtney, and me. But the way he went about it just wouldn't be something I would do. And that's okay. Like, if that's the way that he choose to push his responsibilities to the side and not be fully available, or if he choose to, like, be okay, if you don't do it my way, then you go do it somebody else's way. Because in so many words, that's what I was told. And that's things that they really don't know about. I literally got into an argument about that as a child. He wanted me to do things one way, and I was taught to do things a different way. And when you can't come to a common ground, it's either you get out before you get hurt, or you just sit in it, and chances are you still gonna get hurt. So, like, I worry about those things. That's why, like, it's difficult for me to be physical when it comes to my kids, and I'm more so like I buck on them. Because I honestly remember...
When you bucked at Alex the other day, and she was like... And once you walked off, she went back to... It gave... What's his name on Friday? He was like... We was smoking. He was like... When he around... Bitch, when he walk off, I be talking again. And that shit was just crazy.
Yeah, but I don't want to feel like I'm going overboard. Because I remember when I used to get beatings around this guy. I know how I felt before and after. And I don't want them to feel that way about me. Like, so it's just certain things, like, I gotta be mine. And you might say, anybody might say, like, okay, that sounds like you may need a little bit of help. No, that is me being responsible. And I have my way of how I chastise the kids versus the way that she does it. And while it's, I have my ways. I say what I say, but sometimes I'll be like, I know I ain't about to come in strong. So I'll be like, hey, back hop, time for you to go. Oh, wow. Because I just know, like, I ain't going to be taken serious. And it's okay, but my kids know when I'm serious. They heard me. They know when it's time to play and when it's time to just pull back. But I feel like it's also certain situations you just need to have a conversation with your child versus just sitting there feeling like you need to yell at them every time. Because kids just ain't built to take some of the stuff that we took back in the day nowadays Their mentality just can't handle constantly being verbally scalded about every single thing. But I also get the fact that sometimes you got to be aggressive because that's the only way the kid gonna get you. You gonna have to just beat them out of it. And we have a child that sometimes you got to do that too. You just got to beat her out of it because she's sneaky. Like right now, she being sneaky, and I don't even know. But I know when I just saw her, I felt like she was up to something. But I also know that's the mentality I had growing up. So like, you just gotta know either you're gonna have to clean something up or you're gonna just have to have a conversation with her later. But yeah, that was.
But I'm just saying, like,
did I go off or something?
You was talking, you was saying stuff.
I felt like I was pertaining to the same thing.
I'm going back to what you said in reference to your sisters and the guys that they attract. But it's always been a saying that a girl should always want a man like their father, or, you know, type situation. I find that to be very creepy. Because what? But for my donor, absolutely not. Would never, ever, no. My grandfather, the way he did things, it was like my grandfather. Like, it wasn't like my father type things that he would talk about and deal with. So it's like I actually never had that. And when I sit and think about certain things, it's like, damn, do I have daddy issues? Like, is there some things that I feel like if I had a dad in my life that was actually active in my life, I will feel, you know, like, this is cool, this isn't cool. Like, I'm more deserving of this than deserving of that. So when you sit and you think about what they went through with the dad they had, it's like, you say, from your standpoint of everything, it's always, you can change it. Like, you don't have to repeat the cycle type situation. But that's your mindset on certain things because of how you navigate and deal with it. Whereas other people are like, again, this is my routine. Like, this is what I know. And until somebody checks me and tell me, no, this isn't right, this don't work, you shouldn't do this, or, you know, X, Y, and Z, I'm going to look at it as normal.
Yeah. You expecting a response from me? I'm just sitting back enjoying what you're talking about.
Because you say stuff like it's just easy. Like, just a change of behavior.
Oh, hell no. It's not.
Type thing. Like, it's not. Like, real life, when you sit and think about everything, and I've said it, and it's not to be malice, nothing. It's not to be disrespectful. It's with serious, sincere love. If your grandmother was to go, I will have you committed. Yeah.
So I don't feel like I'm going to react. But I won't know
until that time. But I just see how you handle and deal with things within your family and how you just shut stuff out and just be like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever.
I'm telling you, I do operate, though, like this a little bit where, like, there's just certain things that I just, like, I feel like it's not worth my time, so I just won't address it. I just, like, I do. I only do that to protect my own peace. Like, this back and forth with my mother. Like, that's been, over the last 5 to 10 years, that's been one of the most interesting relationships. Because I honestly believe I've tried multiple times. And I don't care. Like, this podcast is going to go where it's going to go at. And I hope, like, this impacts somebody so you can understand, like, y'all ain't the only one going through this with your parents. But I actually have, even with disappointment, have tried multiple times to integrate my mother into my family. But I also don't ever want to feel like I'm being used. So, like, if the first conversation when I talk to somebody is basically about what I can do for you, not about what we can do for each other, I tend to lock that and just switch that to the side. And that might not be healthy because they be like, oh, you're not dealing with it. But in my mind, like, in order for me to deal with it that way or to deal with it, I have to address it like that. Because if I try to go and seek help with it, I think if I go try to seek some sort of help about it in this specific situation, I think that's only going to make matters worse because I don't think mentally this individual is capable of understanding what's going on at this point. Nor are the people who care about her mentally capable of understanding her and exactly what she's trying to get across. You know, like, so I deal with that situation as I deal with it. But like I've told you, you know, I still get anxiety about how I'm going to respond the day when I have to face my father. And like, I shouldn't have to feel a certain way when having to deal with him. because I just don't know how I'm going to react. So, but I know that day going to eventually have to come, whether it's me seeing him alive or not seeing him dead. And I'm not wishing him die before me and him get to have an opportunity to have some sort of peace talk. But I remember a lot of stuff I probably shouldn't remember that leads me to believe, like, I just think there isn't anything there. And at the end of the day, I'm okay with that. I just got to be also mindful of traits that may have been passed down to me and make sure I can navigate that some sort of way where I'm at peace for myself and that I'm also at peace to make sure I'm okay for my family. But I also think, like, when you think about building a family, I didn't have great examples on how to be a husband or great examples about how to build a family. So, like, a lot of the stuff that the man that I became at 37, I wasn't at 25, and I'm still learning. And I think that's what life's about. Like, you never should be at the point where you too big to keep learning, no matter what your position is in life. And that's why I say, like, some people say, man, my biggest accomplishment in life is probably getting this best job or making X amount of dollars or all this. Because the dysfunction I was witnessing growing up, my biggest accomplishment is that I'm able to constantly bring and put forth a healthy family. And that may not include 50 to 60 people, but it includes the 4 people I live with daily, and the 3 people I live with daily, and that love me regardless of if I'm feeling good or feeling bad. And that's okay. And I love them back. So my biggest accomplishment is my family. And that's going to constantly be. So, like, that's why I'm always figuring out ways to try to be a better man, a better father, a better husband, and a better friend. And that accomplishment is one that I can always look back on and say, ha, mother and father, I did better than you.
But I think also
And then, is that me being, what's the word for being childish?
Petty.
Is that me being petty? Hell yeah, it is. Because I won.
No, but I'm just saying, I think you've done a great job with being consistent, you and your siblings, with y'all communicating. Because y'all didn't just talk
at all.
So
we talk every day now, damn
near. Well, on your father's side. So I just feel like you've definitely, done a great job.
Also want to love on people that want to love on me. I'm not about to waste my time, like, trying to reach out to people and see how you doing. And you, like, it's years, months. We frequent the same area. We see each other. I think what sucks about family these days, and I was talking to my great cousin the other day, and I was like, man, it sucks that the only time we get to see family is when someone dies. And then you leave those type of situations saying, oh, we got to do better. And 2 years go by, you fucking family members in the ground, and they not 6 feet no more, they 12 feet.
They making food.
Yeah, it's on bones now. No skin left. And you ain't did shit else since them funerals. And most times it's just having a conversation with people. Like my cousin from their side of the family, I talk to him more.
From what side?
From my Aunt Naz. I talk to him more than I talk to cousins that I grew up with, that I was around, we were around daily. And I don't think life should ever pass you by so much that you don't have time, that you got more time for people you just met and less time for the people that you're supposed to love.
I mean, but who's to say that's who you're supposed to love? You know what I'm saying? Like your family, and as always, as my baby mama say, the family that you were born into isn't always the family that you're supposed to belong to. Like, you create, just because you was born into something, that's by blood. That's my baby mama, Erica. And it's blood. That's like, okay, yeah. Because we're blood, I'm supposed to feel a certain type of way towards you, or have this feeling for you. But they the ones that do you dirty. So it's like your family is who loves you and you love them back. Like, you can create your family, and it doesn't have to be by blood.
I think we unpacked the shit out this topic. Honestly, this was an amazing packing. Let's rapid fire this bitch on. Because that was, I'm telling you, that parenting and being like your parent or seeing your parent in yourself it can be a difficult transition.
It can, because when you think about it, how you saw your parent as a child to how you see your parent now as an adult, and now that you're a parent, it's like,
damn, I'm so much better than them.
Right? Like, I can't, like, nah. Because, like, me growing up as a child, a spoiled fucking brat.
Me growing up as a child, a poor fucking brat.
Like, there was nothing that who got beat?
I always got beat.
No. Like, if I want something, yeah, I want this. Those Jordans coming out, somebody's going to stand in line and give me
those Jordans come out, I won't be getting them unless I got a job.
Yeah. And it's like, to grow up and not be told or shown how to be responsible and what responsibilities are is the biggest downfall. Because I will say, I was growing up, money, why do I need to save money? Why I need what? The same way you gave it to me, go get it again and bring it back. Like, what are you talking about? So it's like, what are you talking about? You ain't got no money. You gotta do what? I don't understand that. So to be in a position of being an adult and having a spouse and all that, that's like being like, hey babe, I need.
But I also tell you this, as we approach our 10 years, she can tell you, like, we've came a long way. Like, the head button that we used to do back in the day, we kind of laugh about now. There's a lot of things that we do that, like, irritate the shit out of each other. But, like, I would say, babe, I love you. Say that shit back. Fuck you talk. All right, we unpacked it.